Thinking about flying to San Diego? If these 5 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to San Diego, maybe this one will. Southwest Airlines. It's like having your own company plane.
From bad to verse.
Freddy's here to warm your nights with a frightening secret blend. So lock the doors and kill the lights for nightmares without end.
Don't miss the most misunderstood guru in showbiz.
People say I'm crazy mad, but you see, I've got a curse. 'Cause when I'm good, I'm very bad, and when I'm worse...
Just that they get involved. At Kentucky's Huntertown Elementary, a parent volunteer system gives real help to staff and teachers with everything from photocopying to marking spelling tests. There have been at least 34 in-depth studies of involvement in schools. Without exception, they find that the more the parents are involved in school, the better the kids do in their schoolwork. Yet most American schools make no effort to give parents significant involvement. And the studies show it makes no difference whether a parent had any success in. Any parent who shows concern for the child's schooling always makes a big difference. Most American kids move back and forth each day between 2 separate worlds, home.
Everybody get their homework.
But when parents show children they're working with school,
You already have, that's 3. Where's the one that you carried over? You didn't add that one.
then the child's 2 worlds can be joined together, and that's much more likely.
So how much more money do you have, Tennille?
Anything which strengthens the parent-teacher triangle, say educators, strengthens the child's education. Schools wanting to improve are finding their most powerful allies in the children's first teachers, who care most about their children's success, and in the natural desire to follow their parents' lead.
Okay.
Bill Blakemore, ABC News, Landover, Maryland.
When we come back, the Big Mac attack in Moscow.
If I don't get some Z's, I'll be a basket case tomorrow.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Nitol, fall asleep fast.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Guess why I call my Polident the Big Clean?
Does a big job on denture stains.
Right, but Polident's bigger than that.
It fights denture odor in a big way.
But Polident's bigger. It fights stains, odor, and tartar. Trust the big mouth. Give Polident the Big Clean.
Nice move, Jack. The Prelude SI with 4-wheel steering from Honda.
Hey, McElroy, I thought you were from Illinois.
I am.
Only guys from Kentucky do that with their shredded wheat.
I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Here's how we do it in Brooklyn. First, we break them in half, and then we mash them to a pulp. Add some milk, maybe a little fruit garnish.
Now, Biscuit shredded wheat is great no matter how you eat it because it's nutritious whole wheat with no added sugar or salt.
What do the guys from California do?
They float them.
Tonight on Nightline, his critics once called him a wimp, but after a year in Arty polls rate him a world-class winner. The state of the George Bush presidency tonight.
The latest American institution to make it all the way to Moscow. Today was opening day for the Soviet Union's first McDonald's, the largest McDonald's in the world. Forget hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Today, these Russians wanted it all. 30,000 of them, twice what anyone expected, crammed through the golden arches before the day was done.
Because I'm hungry.
To standing in long lines for just about anything. But for Big Macs and fries, it's a first. The early reviews were raves.
Like it. You like it? Yeah.
At least today, Muscovites were willing to buy a McDonald's meal for double the tab of a meal at a state-subsidized restaurant. And most of them were stunned by the cleanliness, good service. It hasn't been easy. It took McDonald's 14 years to negotiate this deal, and they had to teach us how to raise leaner cows. and grow bigger potatoes. For Russian workers, learning to be courteous was culture shock. Cynics may wonder how long this will last, but McDonald's hopes to cash in a big way. For now, it plans to put all those junk food rubles into more and more McDonald's Soviet Union, hoping Soviets by the millions will decide it's also their kind of place. By the way, the Moscow McDonald's has set a 10-burger limit on each sale. They were worried the Big Mac would end up on the black market. On World News Tonight, I'm Diane Sawyer. For all of us at ABC News, have a good evening and a good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News, where more Americans get their news than from any other source.
Coming up on Channel 13 News, the National Guard in Las Vegas and Henderson may be the latest targets of federal defense cuts. Governor Miller says he'll fight it.
Some people will go to any length to lose weight, and sometimes it can be dangerous. Diet Dangers, our special report, begins tonight.
And AT&T celebrates 100 years of coin-operated conversation. That's tonight in Finishing Touches.
In sports tonight, an up-close look at one of the hottest women's basketball teams in the country, the Lady Rebels.
And Nate says there's another storm system on the horizon. Channel 13 News is next. Please join us.
You're watching Channel 13 News. Now, Marianne Brad Johansson, Nathan Tannenbaum with the weather, and Ron Futrell on sports. Live, this is Channel 13 News at 5:30.
The Army National Guard in Las Vegas and in Henderson could be the next targets of federal budget cuts. Good evening, I'm Brad Johansson.
And I'm Marianne McClary. Our top story tonight, more than 500 National Guardsmen from Las Vegas and Henderson could be phased out by 1993 as the tries to save money.
Governor Bob Miller says that he will fight the plan. Reporter Angela Rodriguez has our story.
Right now, there are more than 2 Army National Guardsmen, but Defense Secretary Dick Cheney is planning on streamlining the defense budget, and 561 Nevada Army National Guardsmen could...
We look at it as something that is not preferable, and we certainly are going to express our opposition there, too, just as we will the other impacts it will have on the military bases in the state.
Cheney's plan calls for 76,000 National Guardsmen being scrapped across the country. If Congress approves his plan, locally it would mean the deactivation of the 1st Battalion and 221st Armor. Guard spokesman Major Chris Anastasados in Carson City says what they're doing is taking a state's military. They're taking the backbone of the Nevada Army National Guard out. Nevada Army National Guardsmen come to the aid of Las Vegas when there's a major flood or disaster like PepCon. But with the cuts, Governor Miller is concerned will affect the nation.
As far as national emergency, certainly anytime you reduce the whole totality of the Guard across the country, that is going to impair your ability to respond.
Congress approves the Defense Secretary's plan. It will also mean the local economy will lose an estimated $4.5 million in federal funds. Angela Rodriguez, Channel 13 News.
Hotel owner Jack Binion says a strike by the Culinary Union is affecting his business. Binion laid off 89 dealers today, blaming poor business as a result of the strike. The Culinary Union says its picketing is working, but the union's focus today was on straightening out relations with the police over this week's strike activities. More from Kathy Hansen.
Monday's mass arrest of culinary workers left a bitter taste in some strikers' mouths. They say they should have been cited at the scene and released. Instead, they were booked into this and held overnight.
Well, we think the correct way to handle this situation, to correct the problems that occurred the other night, is the citation. We consider our people not common criminals, and they should be treated with respect.
But Metro says the union is challenging some past citations, so they have no choice.
Because there was a challenge to that process, we decided to avoid that process and go with a full custody arrest.
The union is also calling for an investigation into how strikers were treated once they were at the jail.
Even putting aside the question of how long people were there, the excuse doesn't explain why there was no water for people when they requested it, why there was no toilet paper, why the jailers taunted the people who were incarcerated.
Mayor Lurie says he's already conducted an investigation.
After the investigation, I felt satisfied that who runs our detention facility did everything in his power to expedite the people so that they could be released.
Lurie says the strikers had no water because someone stopped up the toilets, and the water had to be shut off so the toilets could be fixed. The police say their position is not written in stone. In fact, Metro has been meeting with culinary union officials all afternoon, trying to hammer out some type of agreement for future demonstrations. Kathy Hampton.
Tonight, News Poll wants to know if you're honoring the culinary and bartender strike at Binion's downtown. Our question, would you cross a union picket line to enter a casino where workers are on strike? If you say you would, call 364-9954. If you say no, call 364-9956. We'll have partial News Poll results at the end of this newscast and the final results on Channel 13 News tonight at 11.
Labor negotiations between the Teamsters and Las Vegas's only local dairy company continued throughout the day today. A 3-year contract for about 140 hours tonight at midnight. Teamsters Local 14 Secretary-Treasurer Jim Wilkerson says employees have authorized a strike, but there will be no walkout if progress is made in today's talks. Wilkerson and Anderson dairy negotiator met with a federal mediator yesterday, with talks continuing until late last night. The union is seeking better benefits. A 3.5-year labor dispute has ended between the United Food Workers Union and 2 Las Vegas grocery stores. During a joint press conference today at Food for Less, officials for both sides announced that a collective bargaining agreement has been reached. The union's information pickets outside the stores will now come down. The store president says the deciding factor was a recent majority vote by 110 employees in favor of union representation. Union officials say it will mean better wages and benefits for employees, but those who talked to Channel say they don't expect it to have a big impact on them.
No, because it's a really great company to work for. And I've been in the union for 12 years. And like I said, I think it's great, you know, as far as the union. But I says, you know, we were happy anyway.
This agreement, Food for Less was the only remaining major food retailer in southern Nevada to be non-union.
Another sign of the Valley's dramatic growth today, what started out as a tiny family-owned gambling hall in downtown Henderson has now completed a $12 million renovation. Bill French reports the El Dorado Casino's new look brought together 3 generations gambling family.
It was an occasion that brought together Vegas gambling pioneer Sam Boyd, his grandson Sammy, and son Bill Boyd at the family-owned El Dorado. The $12 million renovation of the El Dorado was accomplished without ever closing the casino despite 2.5 years of work. When Sam Boyd first bought this place back in 1962, it looked a lot different, but then so did the city of Henderson. Inside are several Boyd might not have envisioned back in the 60s, including expanded dining facilities, 584 additional slot machines, and a new sports book. 300 people work at the El Dorado, many of them covered by a culinary union contract that expired in October. Bill Boyd, whose Boyd group also include the Stardust and Fremont, insists he's not out to oust the union.
No, we've never wanted to break the union under any circumstance. We've always met with them and negotiated in good faith, and we would hope that in the future we can continue to do that.
The Boyd Group also owns Samstown and the California Club, as well as a resort in Laughlin, which is also newly renovated. Bill French, Channel 13 News.
Our special investigative report, Diet Dangers.
Reporter Luke Michaels takes a look at the miracle diet one local company claims to work.
We finally did it. We switched to a waterbed.
From Big Sur Waterbeds. This solid wood bedroom was just over 15.
We got a queen-size waterbed that fits perfectly in our small bedroom.
A 6-drawer pedestal for underbed storage.
Plus this great-looking entertainment.
About $15 a month for all this solid wood furniture, 11 drawers of storage, and the best sleep we've ever had.
No wonder Big Sur largest.
Big Sur Waterbeds, 71 showrooms nationwide.
Valley Auto has done some crazy things to get your attention to upholster your car or furniture or for custom draperies, and it works. So keep calling 362-1990, or should I say 360.
Valentine's Day specials at the Jewelers of Las Vegas. I Love You bracelet, $109.99. Diamond bracelet, $249. Remember your loved one with a beautiful gift from the Jewelers. Galem's Furniture is going out of business. Liquidation prices on everything in the store. Sofa and love seats from $199. Mattress and box from $69. Galem's Furniture, Charleston and Maryland Parkway.
The game's not over yet. Today's the last day when America's two champion dealers, Fairway and Fletcher Jones Chevrolet Geo, combine for the Super Bowl of savings. Save thousands on brand new 1990 Chevy cars. The Lumina with 20 more horsepower than Taurus. Corsicas, Berettas, rebates up to $1,000. 4.8% interest. Save up to $4,500 in financing alone on Luminas, Corsicas, Berettas. Hurry into either champion, Fletcher Jones or Fairway. The Super Bowl of savings ends tonight, 9 p.m.
A morning show needs
a few key ingredients.
A male anchor,
A female anchor.
top news stories,
Interesting interviews. I like sports,
it should be fun.
but it should know when to be serious. Stop that.
It should be something you can count on every morning.
Something that gives you the feeling that you're gonna have a great day.
People who will go to any length to losing more than pounds across the country, diet clinics have lured unsuspecting customers in, and in some cases, they're making promises that they can't deliver.
Tonight, we begin a three-part special diet dangers. Reporter Luke Michaels has been investigating one such diet clinic here in Las Vegas and joins us with more.
Well, Brad, Marianne, promises like never be fat again and weight without strict dieting are reaping big dividends for at least one local Las Vegas weight clinic. Tucked away behind University Medical Center just off of Rancho Drive is the Medical Clinics, a business that opened its door back in May of last year. Since, hundreds have responded to the clinic's high-profile media blitz.
Call the medical clinics now and let our doctors medically adjust your metabolism so that you can lose all those unwanted pounds and inches faster than you ever imagined possible.
Pie-in-the-sky ads on TV and in local newspapers. The key to success for the medical clinics here in Las Vegas and elsewhere. There are clinics in California, Florida, Georgia, and Virginia. The ads claim you can lose weight by adjusting your metabolism and that strict dieting is not necessary. The clinic also prescribes Synthroid, a thyroid hormone replacement. Synthroid, according to many researchers, should not be used for weight loss. Meet Debbie Fortenberry. She signed on with the clinic for 6 weeks, then became ill.
I did not feel like they say you should have lots of energy. I didn't.
This Las Vegas doctor worked at the clinic for only 1 hour. During that short stint, he was told to see one patient every 7.5 minutes.
This operation should be closed down, should be totally eliminated. It's a menace to society.
The medical clinics prescribe Synthroid as part of a weight reduction program, even though the practice is considered unacceptable. Boots Company, manufacturer of Synthroid, writes, in the absence of hypothyroidism, Synthroid should not be used for, nor is it recommended for the treatment of obesity. In addition, the physician's desk reference points the use of thyroid hormones in the therapy of obesity alone or combined with other drugs is unjustified and has been shown to be ineffective. Dr. Stephen Newmark, a Las Vegas endocrinologist, concurs with these findings.
Giving Synthroid stimulate metabolism as a person loses weight is not an accepted modality by the medical profession.
When you go see a medical doctor, you should be able to trust them to prescribe something for you that you need. And that's exactly what I did, which was a mistake on my part, and I'll never do it again.
But trust could be the downfall of patients like Debbie. When you look at the mastermind behind these clinics, he's Norman Duke Wells, who served 2 prison terms, one for pimping his wife. At one time, Wells 93 hookers and ran 5 illegal houses of prostitution in Houston. Currently, 2 indictments cloud his future. Those charges allege organized crime and prostitution activities. Wells is now based at the medical clinic's corporate office in San Diego.
And you say this is big business.
Big business.
Looking at tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to have more testimony about the drug from medical experts across the country. In addition to that, we're going to take a look at charges of double dipping with regard to insurance companies covered this type of illness. Weight reduction is not a real illness, but we'll get into that more tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing that.
Okay.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, Luke. A watch given to comedian Red Fox, hands of the government. The watch is valued at between $15,000 and $25,000, according to Fox's attorney, with an inscription on the back saying, "To Red from Elvis, Hilton Hotel, 1977." Fox says Elvis gave him the watch the year he died. Last week, a federal bankruptcy judge told Fox to by today or the IRS sale of Fox's home and property would go on. It was called off last week until a hearing on the matter can be held next month.
That is a serious watch.
Yeah.
Nate's predicted a turn for the worse in our weather. He's coming up night.
He's next with the forecast. Stay with us.
Jones Dealerships announces Super Sale. An all-out inventory sellout this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every car and truck, new and used, from the 10 Fletcher Jones dealerships will be included in this massive sale, and you can save thousands. All factory rebates, special interest incentives will be available for this super sale. Prices will be clearly posted on the windows. This is your chance to save on the car or truck of your choice, only at the 10 Fletcher Jones Positively Ends, Saturday night, 10 p.m.
It has every advantage of your old yellow pages, yet the new GTE Everything pages let you place ads at about half the cost.
I'll save money?
Yes.
Never even had a piggy bank.
I saved once. About as much fun as a tetanus shot.
Sir, you have a good product. Just raise your rates.
Businesses that want to save money advertise in the new GTE Everything pages. Those that don't.
What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours.
In our express tailoring, pick out your clothes today, pick them up tomorrow.
What a difference a day makes. Difference is you.
Express tailoring, exclusively at C&R.
Ford dealers.
It's the biggest Ford sale in Las Vegas history, with $1,000 cash back on nearly every new Ford. Combine cash back with option savings, save $2,000 on Thunderbird. Get cash back and option savings that total over $2,100. Taurus, option savings plus cash back saves you $1,700. Or get 4 for 48 months. The biggest Ford sale in history ends soon. Hurry to your Las Vegas Ford dealers.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Ford dealers.
A change in the weather.
Oh, possibly. One of those storm systems that could do something to us, but probably won't.
Good, I hope not.
Yeah, well, we need the moisture. I'll take a look at it on the radar here at 5:30 in Las Vegas. It continues to be right there. Beautiful sunset at 54 degrees, humidity 35%, just a slight breeze out of the east at 6, and the barometer's rising at 29.78. High today, pretty much where we thought it was. We were going for 59. 57 was certainly bearable, 2 degrees below normal, and with all the cloud cover last night, we had a 44. Air quality remains in the good category. Here's the way it shapes up, and this is what we've been talking about. Storm systems just kind of stacking up, moving on through, one right after the other. This is what we had yesterday. We'll probably have this one by tomorrow night and possibly Friday, but again, we're just not counting on a whole lot of moisture. Even though the clouds have begun to move down, the latest radar shows just the moisture hanging around California. Looks like the Tahoe area may get some more snow, and Flagstaff did get 9 inches of snow out of this latest system. Here's what we did for temperatures across the Silver State. A little bit chilly up there in Ely, and for afternoon high temperatures, a couple of twins, us in Reno and Tonopah. A lovely weather fluke. Here's the way it looks on the national satellite loop. And one of the reasons they get more snow in Arizona and New Mexico out of these systems is that they pull more moisture up off the Pacific after cutting through, and that's why they did see so much snow. Elsewhere, fairly quiet. You can see one of the systems that kind of blew right Oklahoma and Arizona. In fact, on the latest radar chart from across the country, yeah, there's some fairly intense stuff going on. And Oklahoma, southern Florida. And that's the rest of the system out there, out to the west of us. It'll probably track to the north and, again, maybe billow up to the south of us. We just tend to miss them. And here's the way it shapes up on our national chart. Also, very heavy wave activity on the coast of California, 29-foot waves. For tomorrow, that system will move right on in, and they're long underwear. High temperatures below 0 in some parts of Montana. That's certainly not the case here. Our forecast for the rest of tonight, just some clouds ahead of the front, the low in the mid-30s, northerly winds to 15. For tomorrow, more sunshine and a possibility of sprinkles later on, southwesterly winds to 25, high in the mid-50s. The rest of the weekend, heading you into the weekend, we had it cooling off a little bit on Saturday and Sunday earlier. Now that doesn't look to be the case. Friday, remember Groundhog Day. If it's cloudy, Mr. Groundhog will not see his shadow, so spring will be near.
Yeah, it's looking that way right now.
So thanks
Nate.
very much, Nate. Just ahead in sports, the Rebels talk about tomorrow night's matchup with Utah State.
And we'll take a look at a team of rising stars in women's basketball. The Lady Sports is next.
The family of 10 Fletcher Jones dealerships announces an all-out inventory sellout this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every car and truck, new and used, from the 10 Fletcher Jones dealerships will be included in this massive sale, and you can save thousands. All factory rebates, special interest rates, discounts, and incentives will be available for this soup. Prices will be clearly posted on the windows. This is your chance to save on the car or truck of your choice, only at the 10 Fletcher Jones dealerships. Sale positively ends Saturday night, 10 p.m.
You really need to shop around to find a lawyer with a good reputation. That's why we don't ask you to sign anything on your first visit. In fact, we encourage you to see other lawyers before you decide who's best able to represent. Don't be in a hurry to hire the wrong lawyer.
Princess Furs in the Flamingo Hilton Hotel is having the largest fur inventory clearance ever. Reductions 60, 70, up to 80% off our entire inventory. This fabulous fur inventory clearance is going on right now at Princess Furs in the Flamingo Hilton Hotel.
We've got it together for you in the Las Vegas Sun. First with Parade Magazine. We're continuing to deliver America's favorite Sunday supplement, plus Showbiz Magazine for the inside scoop on what's happening in the world of entertainment, complete with broadcast and cable listings. Both magazines together every Sunday in Las Vegas and most highly awarded newspaper, the Las Vegas Sun. Call 383-7200 for home delivery. We've got it together every Sunday in the Sun.
Findlay Oldsmobile, the #1 volume Olds dealer in Nevada, is having a 72-hour sale-a-thon. For 3 days only, Findlay Oldsmobile is discounting all of its new generation Oldsmobiles. Look at these savings. The all-new four-door Cutlass with savings of $3,500. The powerful 442, save $2,500. The luxurious touring sedan, save $4,000. On the incredible Tornado, save $3,500. With these savings at as low as 4.8 APR financing for 48 months. What better time to buy than now? 3 days only. Findlay Oldsmobile, 72 hours Saturday.
More on this phone call business? What, more penalties?
No, not more penalties, but will it ever end? More information today. I hope they were good phone calls. I belong to important people or something, because there's such a mess and a stir being caused about these things.
It's getting old.
That we get some more stuff about it today. A report out of Chicago claims UNLV was aware of the problems with the players and their phone calls last season, then failed to do anything about it. The report in the Chicago Tribune quotes NCAA investigator David Burst as saying the NCAA tried to get the university to repay the bills. And when they didn't, the NCAA had to suspend the players as a last resort. The university has claimed all along that they just recently learned about those hotel phone bills. I asked Coach Tark about those claims today at practice. He didn't want to talk about it on camera, but did repeat that the university got the players to pay the bills as soon as they found out about them. As for the Rebels' next game, it's tomorrow night. They play Utah State. First time the Rebels and Aggies have played in the Thomas and Mack since Con Smith made those comments last year about the Rebels players, cars, and the clothes that they wear.
Play hard as we can. You know, he would like to really beat him really bad. You know, everybody, you know, really ready for this game. They want to go out there and, you know, do the best they can.
Because of those comments? Or
because of those comments, you know, he shouldn't even said things like that. You know, I guess because they think we get everything, which we're not, you know.
What's your prediction on the margin of victory? What do you...
I don't know. I hope it's 30 or more. 40, 50, right? You know, something like that. You know, but I like to beat them pretty bad.
I really don't hold no grudge. That's, you know, water under the bridge. We just got to come out and just play our game. Can't worry about what happened last year.
They're third ranked in the country. That's as high as the Lady Rebels of UNLV have ever been ranked. They're up there with an elite group of women's college basketball teams. Stephen Jackson says the Lady Rebels like it on the top. They plan to stay there.
They've won 16 in a row, and they stand 18-1 on the season. By far the best level of play they've ever achieved at UNLV. The Lady Rebels have played and beaten perennial powers like Auburn and the University of Southern California. Another perennial power they've whipped, their arch foes and nemesis in the Big West Conference, the Long Beach State Lady 49ers, and they beat them at Long Beach.
I think our preseason schedule really surprised us, only coming out with one loss against some good competition, and we kind of felt that we were capable of winning the games that we won so far, and we just need to continue to do that. So I think that the team has fulfilled our expectations.
The Lady Rebels have cleared every hurdle thus far this season. They know they're a good team, but they're not about to rest.
So I guess the one loss helped us because we got it early. And so then it just kept us from just getting a big hit because we lost early. We know that let down and we couldn't have it again. So we've been just working hard. People still look at us sometimes and still think of our men and Titanium. And, you know, we want to get respect for being us, the Lady Rebels.
There's a determination about this team. They know that their record and their ranking have made them a target for the rest of the season, but they plan to be ready to meet all challenges head on.
Well, I think it's all mental. I think what you have to do is come in from the start and just know play to win the game. It's like you're a starving person going after a piece of meat, and you have to do that in order to become intense.
That about sums it up as far as the Lady Rebels are concerned this season. I'm Stephen Jackson, Channel 13 Sports.
Be exciting for both Rebel teams.
Yes, it will. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron. Well, if you used a payphone today, you were celebrating history in a way.
A century of coin-operated conversation. Next in Finishing Touches.
Soon, Cashman Cadillac's 80th anniversary celebration. Watch for it.
I'd never seen anything like big, a real warehouse, not just so-called. And it's filled with everything for the office, even desks, PCs. The price is absolutely the lowest.
There's no comparing to HQ's real warehouse prices. Prices so low, they're guaranteed to be the lowest day in, day out. Shop the leader in office supplies and equipment. HQ Office Supplies Warehouse, open for business.
There's no membership, they deliver. Why would you go anyplace else?
If you think a kitchen is a kitchen is a kitchen, then you haven't been to the Payless Cashways annual kitchen and bath sale. You'll get name brands on cabinets, faucets, wallpaper, appliances, all room. Use your project charge card and there's no billing till May. That means no payments, no finance charges till May. And with our Design Plus service, see how your new kitchen will look before you start. Because at Payless Cashways, we do the whole kitchen, after kitchen, after kitchen. Get it right from Payless Cashways.
Here's how our news poll question on crossing union picket lines is going. So far, 52% of our callers say yes, they would cross a union picket line to enter a casino where workers are on strike. On the other hand, 48% of our callers say no, they would not cross the line. Give us a call, let us know what you think, and watch Channel 13 News tonight for the poll results.
Well, you see them every day, you use them nearly as often, but did you realize payphones are over 100 years old? In tonight's Finishing Touch shows you some of the many models we have used over the years.
This is how it all began, 1889's version of the payphone. And almost as soon a game was begun between the phone user and the phone company to try to figure out ways to make phone calls for free. Even so, payphones have multiplied so there are now 2 million of them, which make $2 billion. The history of the payphone is being exhibited at the Truck Stop Operators Convention at the Convention Center. Used to be they worked on the honor system. You made the call and then deposited the money the road. Not anymore. But the inventiveness of the devices the phone companies installed over the years to stop people from cheating have been foiled by even more inventive payphone users.
We have tried our best. We found that we still haven't completely outwitted every college student in the world, and they still are our most inventive users.
This is my favorite kind of payphone. Used to have a phone like this in college. You know, the one with the free money slots? Saved me a lot of money, too. You see, I'd make a phone. You take a slip of paper, put it down the dime slot, then you get a penny, stick it in and jiggle the piece of paper until you got a dial tone. Heck, this phone must have saved me hundreds of dollars. In the future, you may be using more plastic money and the video screen. But rest assured, as in the past, the phone company has some strong payphone supporters who'll be vigilantly trying to find you if you do try to cheat them. Sandy Bell, Channel 13 News.
It's coming after you.
Yeah, that'll do it for us. We'll be back tonight at 11.
We'll see you then. Good night.
Good night.
The following is a Channel tutorial.
They say nobody wins in a strike. Looking at the settlement in the 7-month-long musician strike, it's abundantly clear that the musicians came out losers. It was a settlement with no jobs, at least for the 50 or so musicians who previously played music for several showroom reviews, including the Follies here at the Trop. There was severance pay, but that was about it. During the strike, the musicians received virtually no support from other unions. Even some of its own members eventually crossed picket lines to perform. In an attempt to support, the union committed thousands of its members' dollars to an advertising blitz that really did nothing for the unions. The end came last week, Wednesday, in what amounted to unconditional surrender. It was, as Don McLean wrote in honor of Buddy Holly, the day the music died. This should have come as no surprise to union leaders. As another songwriter, Bob Dylan, wrote, "The times they are a-changin'." Union leaders should have known and understood 7 months ago.
We welcome your opinion. Please write us at Channel 13.
The family of 10 strips announces Super Sale. An all-out inventory sellout this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every car and truck, new and used from the dealerships, will be included in this massive sale, and you can save thousands. All factory rebates, special interest rates, discounts, and incentives will be available for this Super Sale. Prices will be clearly posted on the windows. This is your chance to save on the car or truck of your choice, only at the 10 dealerships. Super Sale positively ends Saturday night, 10 p.m.
What it's like to feel overwhelmed.
But there's comfort in knowing that if you need help with an emotional, drug, or alcohol problem, the hospital is there for you 24 hours a day. You'll find caring, courteous professionals like me who are genuinely interested in your well-being. We listen, provide a free assessment, and will refer you to the best possible care. I am proud to work for you to help people get well.
If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
Jerry's Nugget, expressly orchestrated for the discriminating taste.
Look inside UNC's Trauma Center, February 7th.
This is a special report from ABC News. President Bush's State of the Union address and the Democratic response. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.